or God, Jesus said, in the day or the hour, nobody's going to know when their second coming of the man of Jesus, the Son of Man, is. But in those days, just as in the days of Noah, people are eating and drinking and marrying up and giving in marriage and following after every whim and all the fall, just they're there. And then Noah entered the ark, and that was it. The flood came, and they carried them all away. So it's crucial, dear beloved, dear beloved, that you choose today to see the Son of Man in your life. You choose today to see God in your life. You choose today to see hope and faith and trust and peace and joy, and focus on everything that is all what God should be, happiness and excitement, and not and then choose to go in that direction, because otherwise you're going to stay in the tribulation. You're not going to get past it. You're not going to come out of it. And it says here, 2 men will be out in the field, one will be taken away, one will left. Well, how many times does that happen all the time as we see storms come in and we see things happening, and boom, a car accident, and the blizzards that's up here up north, boom, boom, things happen, and one's gone, one's left behind. Somebody survives, somebody's taken. This is happening every day already. It's happening. Then, ever since Jesus spoke these words, his presence is with us always now. He came back then, he's coming back again someday. But the very last thing he says in this chapter of Matthew 24 is, stay awake, for you do not know which day your Lord will come. Well, he comes every hour of every day, really, when you think about it, because his promise says, I am always with you. You just got to open your eyes and your heart to see him. Not his physical presence, but to see all he stands for right there. Peace, love, joy, patience, compassion, understanding, goodness, mercy, kindness. Everything that he is, it's there should you choose to see it and open your heart to it. Okay, if the master of the house had known the hour of the day when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and made sure that it wouldn't happen. And the same way with the faithful and unfaithful servant. The faithful servant goes about his business and doing everything he's supposed to be doing. He's a prudent servant, and he goes about doing the work he's supposed to be doing. So when the master comes back, he says, good, I put you in charge, and you've done everything and done a good job of it. But the wicked servant says, my master's long delayed. Or you might hear comments like that. Oh, we've always heard this about the end of the world. It's not going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And they're not hearing, and they don't want to hear. And so they don't refuse to hear. And so they go about, they eat and drink and be drunkards. And the master will come on an unexpected day and an unknown hour and punish them severely and assign them a place with the hypocrites where there'll be wailing and grinding of their teeth. And that's the end of that Matthew chapter 24. It describes every day of our life. Does it not, Carl?
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah. It describes every day of our life. We are seeing all these people who are doing everything that they want to do all around us. And there's another scripture, too, that says they will become lovers of self. And that is definitely the truth. You're becoming so much lovers of the flesh that you want to make the body look like this, do like that, and so forth. And just like that song says, you're so vain. You think the song is written about you. Lovers of self. Now, my question to you is, to all, do you want to be ready for when that master comes, the second coming, the final coming, when Jesus comes again? And do you want to be ready for him now when he's appearing? And he's appearing, he's amongst you all the time. He promises you that. Or do you want to just be entering into all the tribulations that are hitting us up left and right? And it could, any moment of any day, the hour or the moment of your death, you do not know. But it can happen at any given time. Which reminds me, one of the plagues is occurring right now. It's called the flu. And people are dying. Lots of them. And then you have the plague, I call it the plague, of the cell phone and the technology that's causing people to die because they're not paying attention. And it's not only causing them to die, it's causing other people to die. And then you also have the plagues of the drugs and the addictions. All of these things are taking lives. And it's because we desire them so bad that we do not care if it's going to take somebody's life. We don't care. I don't know what to say to you if to get you to realize the importance of making that choice of every day doing what is right. Other than this one thing, what give and it shall be given unto you, and the seeds you sow, the seeds will grow. So, what is it you want sown in your life? What seeds do you want sown in your life? What do you want to give in your life so that what comes back at you, you want to you oh gosh, I'm so glad that this is coming back at me. In other words, you don't want to be judgmental, otherwise judging's coming back upon you. And you don't want to also be sowing anger and hatred and bitterness, and even when nobody else is around, I have to be careful. I don't sow grumpy gripey. I don't sow talking about mumbling and grumbling under my breath about, oh, I'm so tired of this and that, and wish somebody would pick up after himself so I don't have to find dirty dishes all over the place, and that's mumbling and griping, and that's the same thing as the Israelites in the desert. Okay, you're going to go around the mountain one more time. You're going to find some more dirty dishes just because you complained about it. See? And that's the truth. It happens. So what's the seed that you want to grow in your life, and what is it you want to get back in your life? These are decisions you have to make from a day-by-day basis, day by day.
It's absolute.
Yeah.
I was going to say that obviously we're looking at things from a Bible and somewhat also Catholic perspective, but people out there that are new to these ideas, that you might also hear about the laws of attraction. I don't know if you know what that is, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that what you want, you have to have the intention of it, and we believe in praying for it. But others, sometimes even just the thought of something, setting a thought, positive or negative, you'd be surprised that these things show up, good or bad,
Yeah.
in your life. And so it applies to those that aren't familiar with our end of things. If you're just learning about God and Christianity, that's what you might hear elsewhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. Sorry.
You're right. I'm glad you brought that up. It all goes back. You're hearing it in one way in the Bible, the seed you sow, the seed you grow. But the other way is to hear it about if you positive thoughts bring positive thoughts back. Positive actions bring positive actions back. It's the ripple effect. You're right. Exactly. So you can look at it that way, or you can look at it. It's all the same thing, but it has the same effect. It's choices. Being responsible for who you are and your life. One of the things why does my life always go the way it goes? Well, what type of people do you have in your life? The losers attract losers.
Yep, absolutely.
And people can be, if you like to talk to people and tell them all your woes, and they're the kind of person that goes, yeah, I know, and they're telling you all their woes back, and they're relating to you and all kinds of sympathy. But if they don't give you any encouragement and any concrete ideals and examples of this is what we can do to change our life, you don't want to be with that person. You want to be with the person that can lift you up and get you going in the other direction. And you need to choose carefully the friends you have in your life. And don't be so desperate for friendship and love that you settle for anything. That's bad. That's what's happening a lot. People are, they just want to be loved so bad that they tend to make the mistake of going and being with somebody that's no good for them. No good. Oh, one of the things, Carl, and I'm going to say this, that really upsets me more when I hear about it is that women living with a boyfriend that's got a child. Number one, you're not supposed to have a live-in boyfriend or girlfriend. This is against the laws of God. And then when you have a child, and you're hearing more and more about it, here's a woman bringing a boyfriend into the house, and they kill that kid because they don't know how to handle a child and being crying and so forth and so on. And they end up being abusive to it or even sexually abusing it.
Yeah.
So, women, you need to think twice about bringing into your home an ungodly man. And yes, he will be ungodly if he says, "Yeah, I want to move in with you." Of course he does. Who wouldn't want some free milk from a cow? I'm putting it awful there, but that's the way you're doing it. You're giving the milk out when somebody hasn't bought the cow. You're giving the man the cookies. Steve Harvey referred to it. Don't give him cookies.
Yeah.
Just don't give it. I love this example. You are a priceless, priceless treasure. And if you put your treasure up close to the ground, every claim jumper is going to come and grab at it. But if you hide your treasure, and if you dress appropriately and look like somebody who is respecting their body enough that they're not wanting to show everything they got, then somebody will have to come along that's an expert when it comes to a treasure hunter to know how to look for that treasure. I like that comparison there. You just don't want to put everything out there for everybody. You want to recognize what a treasure you are and make sure you protect that treasure and keep that treasure buried deep. Not the personality, but the body itself. You need to be making sure that you're not showing it to any and everybody. I can't say it any differently than that. But, it saddens my heart when I see all of these people who are being hurt so badly because they've been led down the wrong path by a society that says this is what you should do. And the society is wrong. You're not supposed to be having sex outside of marriage. And there's a reason and a why for that. And it's to protect you from being hurt and left as damaged goods. Because man is man, human is woman, humankind is humankind. And we should stop and think about the animal world. Well, even some of the animals, they're made for life. And that says a lot for, sometimes I think the man's brain is not as good as the animal's brain. Because there are some animals out there that mate for life. And once they choose a mate, that's it. Geese, I believe, is one of them. Anyhow, I hope that those listening, I'm glad, Carl, you jumped in when you did. Get the message of the day. We're not talking about the end of the world per se, although I look at the world, things happening around us everywhere, and I see the signs. God said when you see the signs, pay attention. And I do see the signs of the second coming of Christ, and it's getting closer, and that's the truth. Every day we wake up, it's one day closer, is it not, Carl?
Sure.
Yeah. And the same can be said about every day I wake up, I'm one day closer to going home because of the fact I'm getting older. And you never know the hour of the day when you are to die. That's the truth. Nobody knows the hour of the day when they're going to die. And so today, wake up, be alert, be aware of the fact that I need to know and recognize the power of love in my life, the power of goodness in my life, the power of love. And that's God. Peace, joy, inner peace, inner peace. If you don't have inner peace in your heart, then why? And it says, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will be open, seek and you will find. Do everything you can to find inner peace. Because until you have inner peace and joy in your heart, in your life, then there's something wrong. You need to find out what it is and go searching for the answers. And by the way, Alexa doesn't have the answer, but the Bible sure does have all the answers you're going to ever need to know.
Good point.
Yep, definitely. See, pull that song up. My children, I'm teaching a music class, a special needs class, and one of the songs that this precious beloved does so well, he's a grown man, and he has a type of a voice that is just a monotone. It's what a day that will be. I mean, but when he sings this song, I hear heaven. So let's go out with what a day that will be. And until a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a show about every 2 weeks. So until then, y'all look into the Bible for the answers and find the peace and joy your heart's looking for.
Thanks for listening. Here's the song.